All right, folks. I think we're janking. I think we are. I think we're janking. Welcome back to PrepperNow. A little late night. Couldn't sleep. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Hopefully you're telling the ladies and all the people that help raise children that are female, thank you so much for all that you do and all that. So I saw this story. I've been thinking about it. I've been wanting to talk about it. There's another one I want to talk about that's more serious, but I just, I mean, certain things work. Certain things are just what you got to do. And don't let people lead you astray. So first of all, I want to congratulate everyone for still being alive right now after this big, huge storm that no one can see, with the exception of purple skies in certain areas. This CME blast, the solar storm, whatever, every channel on the planet has talked about. I don't want to minimize it. I'm not going to make fun of people or whatever, but, I mean, anybody thinking that this thing was, going to kill you and all that, if something's going to kill you, you're not going to know about it. It's just going to kind of happen. Okay? You're not going to get warned by anybody on the television or elsewhere. So pretty please the sugar on top. Just, keep things within reason. Okay? I was telling my wife about all the prepper channels and, everybody kind of calling out some BS and stuff. And she said, well, where are you at? Are you in the crazy side of things? It's like, no, I kind of seem to be more on the, he's not going to lead you astray. He, tries to keep it real and is not looking for, craziness. Do I want to grow as a channel? Yeah. Do I like making a little extra money on the side, being a content creator? Absolutely. It's kind of fun. And make a little bit of coin. It's pretty cool. But, I played in the last 24 hours 2 music shows, and I made some extra coin there too. So, as I said to this one guy, we were talking, because he plays in another music act, and he's really good at what he does. And he plays an instrument that is not normal. So I don't want to out the guy or anything, but, we're just talking about, what's going on in the world. And I said, any way we can make extra money. And he just laughed and said, absolutely. So I'm not going to hate the hustlers. I'm not going to hate the game, but yeah, I mean, this whole thing it's important to watch and it's cool. And I hope you saw the Northern Lights. I do. And all that. But, buying extra gear or going out and freaking out. I mean, first of all, if you are an actual prepper, you should be ready for this. Like you should be, okay, the power went out. I mean, if EMP or whatever happens, you should be able to handle it. As best as anyone. You should already be talking to your neighbors and, have things ready and generators and everything else, So it is what it is. I'm not going to trash talk people, but I found it very interesting that it was basically across the board. Most people had a lot of channel content on it. I, of course, I mentioned it on the crisis report, but you're talking 2% of what I talk about tops. Because I think there's more important stuff, And I think you need to stick to your guns, as they say. And what is one of the things the old PrepperNow has been saying for quite some time? That is that the best way to beat them is not to go crazy. It's not to, think you got to be violent or do things that are going to be mean and evil and physical. No. You take your money away. That's it. It's all you have to do. When this whole thing goes down and the whole thing, the fit hits the sham, like really, like a real SHTF, and the whole country is, and I'm talking like a financial issue. I'm not talking about a CW. Whether you see that or not, I don't know, maybe. But I'm talking about like actual financial collapse kind of thing. Dollar gets urinated on and they go with the bricks and we're out of the thing. The things you should be having ready to go is stuff for that kind of stuff. That stuff isn't, and, you'll see it kind of coming or whatever, but you should be ready to handle all that. But again, it's money. You're not going to change anything by going physical. You're not going to go change anything by going in guns blazing. You do it just like this. Oscars, liquidity crisis. They have to launch a $500 million fundraising drive. You know why? Because nobody wants to watch their crap. And why is it? It's because it is crap. It's total crap what they got going on right now. Okay? So this guy's talking to the Financial Times. I don't know the guy's name. I don't care what the guy's name is. I hope they go under. Organization has already raised about $100 million with contributions from high-profile donors like billionaire Leonard Blavatnik. Campaign is further bolstered by sponsorship agreements with renowned luxury brands, including Dorchester Collection. I've got no idea who Dorchester Collection is, because I don't make crappy movies about crappy subjects that I've got no, clue on. I've got an actual real job, like I'm sure most, if not all of you do, where you don't have to pretend to be other people. And if I may, I've actually been in some theatrical work on different levels, from black box theaters to things. I used to live in New York, and I actually was a bit of a performer there, and I did some stuff. And I'm not going to, of course, mention it because I do like my privacy, but I mean, all you do is really pretending. You go up, you learn some lines, you act. It's fun. It's totally fun. Get into it, But should you be making hundreds of millions of dollars doing it? Probably not, I think that's part of the problem right there is that, the wages have gotten exorbitant. I don't know. If you want to pay some guy $100 million to be a secret agent on a screen, whatever. People want to buy it, great, but I'm not buying it. So kids always get angry at me because I won't allow them to have Disney. I don't want you to have Disney. I don't want you watching that crap. I tell them that too. It's funny, tonight something came on, I forget what we were talking about. My oldest daughter's like, oh God, here we go. Dad's going to start complaining about the woke. Oh man, it's just so dumb. It's so just based in mental illness, I guess, the whole thing. But this is what's going on. I mean, look at this. This is where they're at. They have to raise money so they can put on their little show to reward themselves. Great. You played someone on TV. You did a good job acting. It was believable. But that's it. Like it's just dumb, And the problem is nothing they put out is good anymore. Like they got the new one with Ryan Gosling, I think, coming out. The Fall Guy. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but the first thing I thought, being a child of the 70s and 80s, was, holy crap, they just stole that from Lee Majors and the show from the 70s and 80s, The Fall Guy. Not Farrah Fawcett. I think Heather Locklear was in there. I think Farrah Fawcett was in there. I forget. It's been years, decades. But they can't even come up with good ideas anymore. Like the new Roadhouse, it was okay, but it wasn't like the 1980s version with Patrick Swayze. The new Ghostbusters, I saw the one with when all the women were in it. I didn't see the latest. Nothing like the 1980s version with Dan Aykroyd. Just everything. The writers are basically, at this point, they know to stay employed, they have to write a certain style. And that's to be all worried about including everyone and everything and signaling virtuously that you like these groups and yada, yada, yada. And that, okay. But it's a big turnoff. I don't align with their thoughts. We just got a subscription to a biblical thing, and they do these big grandiose productions theatrically of stories from the Bible. they are impressive. I'm talking, full sets that wrap around you that are supposedly Noah's Ark, and, not supposedly, but like are Noah's Ark, and, real animals, and just, like, that's cool to me. This is, I don't know. This is just, I got to tell you, I'm kind of happy that this is starting to happen. I think they should be really getting the idea that, like, people are just so tired of it. People don't align with it. People don't understand it. People don't like it. People don't want to see it. I don't want to see. I was talking to my wife the other, we're talking about like shows and stuff, and she watches one. And, they're just used to me kind of complaining about stuff. But I don't want to see certain kinds of relationships in everything. And the reason why is because those certain kind of relationships are not as ubiquitous as they put it out to be. I always jokingly say, if an alien race were to come down and look at us from like our entertainment sources, they would think that the country is, 2/3, black and brown and all that. And just, they'd think of a lot of things are way out of whack because, I get it. 10 years ago, I remember the Oscars and everything was going, hey, we need to have more African-American, voices and awards and stuff. All right, great. If they earn it and all that and you want to give it to them, or even if they don't earn it, you just want to give it to them and look cool, fine. But now everything has been so engineered into ways that are just unrealistic. I wish I had the commercial. I think it's Telecom, where it literally is an Asian girl, daughter, like a Latino-looking son, and then like a black father and a white mother. And I'm like, you literally have, I don't know, maybe they met on a bus and decided to become a family or something. I don't know, but like total family situation, and literally all four of them are different. And I'm just like, okay, I don't even remember what product I'm looking at anymore. This is ridiculous. So this is what's going on, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you really don't like what they're doing, then don't engage and tell everybody to stop buying their crap. Seriously. Stop buying their stuff. Don't pay for Disney. Don't pay for Hulu. Don't pay for sports ball things. If the NBA and NFL are virtue signaling all this other crap that you think is stupid. And it's funny. So, it was Valuetainment. Okay, I don't know if you ever watched Patrick Bet David or whatever. Big channel. Guys, I don't watch him regularly, but his short came up, and he's talking about how every 6 months before there's an election, all of the divisive stuff starts to come out. All the stuff that comes out that we have to make it so people are divided. Everything we can divide people up on. That's when it comes out. Why? Because this is the oldest playbook in the world. They have to divide and conquer, get everybody fighting amongst each other. I don't think people really care about what you look like when it comes to selling a product. Just sell the friggin' product. Does the product work? What is it like? What are the reviews? When I'm looking for a product for something tonight, we're looking for natural sweeteners. We're trying to eat clean and we want to eat right, and we're, because all the food is just fake and crap, right? And I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm looking at monk fruit. I'm looking at stevia. I'm looking at these different things. I don't care who's selling the product. I don't care what you look like. You could literally be an alien. Is the product good? What are the reviews like? What does it do? Is it natural? How many ingredients on it? That's what I want to know. Having a person of color, purple-haired Marxist female selling it to me isn't going to sell me on it. And you know what? I don't care if the product's good. If it is that purple-haired Marxist, all right, I'll buy it. So this crap's just gone too far. And let them all die. Let them eat themselves and all that. But let's get back to how they want to just basically crush us. Average credit card debt is soaring. $6,500 per family person. I don't know what it is. If you have $6,500 in credit card debt, you're a moron and you deserve what you get. And you need to stop. You need to drop everything you're doing. You need to pick up a couple side hustles, okay? Preferably not a YouTube creator. And you need to start to like figure it out and get your life together, because you're going to become what's known as a debt slave. U.S. national average for credit card debt, $6,555. If you have a credit card, okay, you got a credit card, and let's put a 1 in the chat. If you got a credit card and it's got, some money on there, put a 2 in the chat. If you got a credit card and it's like just blown out and you're screwed, put a 3 in the chat. I understand if you don't want to out yourself, especially after that little diatribe. And what I'm doing here is not trying to ridicule people. It's a motivational talk, okay? And that's another thing in this day and age with everybody. Everybody's so worried about like hurt feelings and everything. If you're going to change yourself, sometimes you have to go look in the mirror, call yourself some names and say, bro, you're a POS at whatever the thing it is that you need to change, and you need to quit jacking around, man up, and you need to change it, okay? That's it. I could lose some weight. I could, especially with what's coming. I want to get off my medications. My motivation is to get off my medications. And let me tell you why. As a prepper, I think medications are going to become a problem. And I can sit back and be a lazy POS, or I can lose some weight and I can get off the one pill that I'm on and, not have to worry about it. So what did I do? Did I go in there and say, oh, it's because all they do is advertise food and blah? No, I said, look, you're eating too much. You need to exercise more. You need to live 1,800 calories a day, and you need to do your best to not only just do it for a few months, but to basically sustain it for the rest of your life. And that's where I'm at. I'm on day 10, right? And so far, good results. I think I've lost 9 pounds. Most of it's probably water weight. I got more to go, and I know I've talked about weight loss before. It's really my only big problem. I've quit drinking. I don't smoke. I eat pretty well now, all things considered, with like fruits and vegetables and lean meats. And I just, it's my thing. It is what it is. And it's many people's things. But we're not going to fix it by sitting there and taking injections and going to the doctor and sitting on a couch and pissing and moaning. Like, just freaking grow a set and change it. Okay? That's it. That's how I got sober. I was drinking myself to death 18 years ago. And I said, you know what? You're going to die early. Okay? You're the problem. You're doing this to yourself. Grow a set and stop jacking yourself up. And every time I've gotten a sponsee, I'll look him in the eye and I'll say, look, you're the problem. You've got a problem. You got to fix it. And if you don't fix it, it's going to kill you. So man up. Because it is what it is. So this is something that people are going to have to man up with. Come on in. Close second is Connecticut. Average debt of $8,000. Of course, let me guess. California. Is California number one? Oh, New Jersey. New Jersey, $8,155. It's funny, too. There's I guess Texas isn't there, but many of these states all have a certain kind of, I guess Florida, no. All right, I'm assuming too much. These are just states. Doesn't really follow a political pattern. I was going to try and make that correlation, and I shouldn't do it. New Jersey residents, $8,155, 24%. Mississippi, lowest average credit card debt, $5,186, 20% less than the national average. So this Bruce McClary guy says that National Foundation for Credit Card Counseling, amount of debt is not surprising, as many people are forced to use their credit cards just to stay afloat. And this is what people are doing. This is where we're at. We're screwed right now. The economy is absolute shite. It really is. It's terrible. And it's going to go into a recession if it isn't already. And people that are getting themselves in copious amount of credit card debts, they got problems. Maybe you shouldn't have that car that you decided to take out, that car note in 2021 with the $800 a month payment. Because that's average now. $750 to $800 is average on a car payment. Why would you do that to yourself? You can get a beater right now for like $3,000. Hyundai or Toyota or Honda that, it's got 200,000 miles on it, but will run for another 100,000 miles with minimal issues for like a few $1,000s. Why do you have to have the status symbol? Maybe you're not worthy of the status symbol, but again, that's the thing. Everybody in this country has to compensate. We got to look good, even though we feel like crap. So this is where we are. Runaway inflation is affecting grocery store prices, and we've seen a roller coaster ride for gasoline prices. Everybody's broke. Everybody has got these major things going on with the inflation and the bills, and we all feel it. I mean, everybody does. They had a thing on Zero Hedge the other day where they're talking about phantom debt, $700 billion dollars. And it's called phantom debt. It's like, well, what's phantom debt? Like a ghost or whatever with a big dollar sign on it. No. Phantom debt is the micro lending things that people are doing now. What's that? Well, you get some stupid app and a bunch of rich people that are vampires put money in, and basically they lend you the money like a banking institution, and you get these incredibly awful terms, and then you go under. They buy some. There are people that are using this for groceries. I've got one credit card, folks, and I just got it like a few months ago. And I use it up until the 27th of each month because the bill is due on the 28th, and on the 27th, I pay the thing off in full. And why do I do that? Because I'm just trying to build a little credit, and they're both all tied into my, bank account through my bank and everything. And I buy my groceries. That's basically it. And and it's good too because we're trying to track everything, right? So we're trying to track everything and make it so we only get to $600-700. I think $750 is where we're at. We started, if you remember this ride, we started trying to keep it around $400 or $500. $750 is where we're at. Okay. I will say this though: the whole clean eating thing that we're doing, it really does work. It actually is saving us a little bit of money because we're not buying processed foods. We're just getting like lean meats and fruits and vegetables. So after that, there's really not much that you can eat. You get hungry, you have a banana, you have an apple, you have an orange. You don't snack. Dinner, I go and I get the local farmer's market asparagus and some lean chicken. By the way, this other channel was talking about how nowadays with meat, you have to look at all the products. You have to look at the packaging. And you should be looking for things that are like packaged and processed, everything in the USA. Because there's plenty of places now that it's so expensive. They source it out to China and to Mexico and other places. And those places will process the meat and then send it back. And they'll slap an American-made sticker on it. And you'll think, oh, cool, it's an American company. It's an American product. No, not at all. So, and also, shrinkflation is going nuts. So, biggest concern is that people will continue to carry that much debt from month to month. They're going to keep continuing. It's going to get worse too. And people are going to start to default on the debt. Mark my words. Car notes are going to come due. $700, right? You get $800 on a car payment. People aren't going to be able to handle that. Why? If you can't afford a $50,000 car, don't buy a $50,000 car. I'm driving a $6,500 hybrid that I freaking own outright. And it's like 15 years old, 13 years old. It's 11. No. Yeah. So, anyway. Don't do it. Nobody care. I don't care if someone watches me like riding down the street in my little hybrid or whatever and like starts laughing. I don't care. Laugh all you want. Like I've got my debt, for the most part, okay right now. There's some things that need to happen. I'm waiting on I'm cashing one thing out to pay off our fence. So we basically only have the addition, but my wife's job pays for that. And honestly, the money she saves by not going to work every day is paying for like a half of it. So, and you're going to have debt, guys. I mean, people are going to have debt. I know these people try to come off like, oh, I got debt. All right, well, if you're running a family of 5 like I am, and you got all kinds of stuff, you're going to have a little bit of debt. You might need a car. You might have a mortgage. I know. As much as I hope my parents would just give me their house, fortunately they're not dead yet, and I got a brother to think about. So as much as I'd like to take that and make a little after they are not around, that's not the way I think. I think, wow, I hope my parents live to be 110, I love them. Speaking of which, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Happy Mother's Day, all of you. Even if you don't have children, right? So this whole thing is just screwed. I mean, the country is screwed because people are making dumb stuff. And now what's going to be funny is they're going to pile on. That's what people don't know. They're going to pile on. What do you mean? All this stuff is going to get snowballed and rolling over the next 5 years. No, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in 2 months. It's going to happen gradually and where most people don't notice over the next 3 to 5 years. Okay? That's the problem with the prepper channels is they want to make you think that this is going to happen tonight. Bad things will happen tonight, don't get me wrong. But the financial world will not crap the bed tonight. It won't. CME, as far as we know, was getting irradiated, and I don't even know I'm dead yet. It's not going to kill us. We're gonna be all right. If it takes the power out, and this is the last time you hear my voice, and the last time I see all of you awesome people, I wish you the best of luck. God bless you. And at that point, I would wake up tomorrow and I would start doing all the things that I had planned if such a thing were to happen. And one of the first things I would do is I would talk to the neighbors. Anybody thinking they're going to lone wolf through any kind of an SHTF is an idiot. I'm sorry. You will not last. There's a reason why society pulls itself around each other. You need to have a community. You need to have people that can work together. It's just the way it is. So, anyway, I'm sure someone will comment on that about how they're gonna make it and whatever. All right, great, you made it. All right, awesome. You lived off the land. Congratulations. You're the one person that could do it while the other couple million starved. NFCC also provides renegotiation services with credit card companies to reduce the monthly interest rates. That's another thing. When you try, you get this stuff coming. Like I said, they're going to double down. When this stuff happens, vampires come out of the woodwork. They're going to be people tapping on your door saying, oh, you just sign up for this service. And the service has got all kinds of stuff, and you get people to help you. And we're going to pay down this. We're going to consolidate your debt into one thing. And all it does is basically spread it out and cause longer pain. The only way to pay down debt, folks, is to pay down debt. My wife and I have paid down, God, because she went to one of those highfalutin universities. I paid for mine as I went. I think we've paid $150,000 now. Yeah, yep, no, $175, because we're a little bit less than 45 right now. And the way they're going, it's probably going to get either paid off by her job, because she's in healthcare, or the government. But anyway, so we kept a little bit, but we paid as much as we could. $175,000 for her education, air quotes, because she had to go to a good university. And she did. It's one of, if I said it, you know it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But sometimes you got to have debt But the only way to get rid of debt is to pay off debt. How do you pay off debt? You suck it up, eat beans and rice, rice and beans, like Dave Ramsey says. And you just pay. You make smart moves. You don't get yourself into $70,000 Jeep Wrangler, hybrid electric EV truck SUV. You don't do that. You buy the 1999, the 2003 POS 9000 with a little bit of rust on it. Problem is you can't even have those anymore. What do you mean? Well, the states have gotten so rough with the inspections and stuff on the vehicles because the EPA stuff. Even now, if you find some great beater that's going to do the job for you and get you to work and back, and you don't really care to be seen in it. Now, places like California, you can't even register the car. This guy had this video. I put it onto my Subscribestar and locals, right? Links in the description. And I just found it. I just kind of stumbled upon it. And I'm sitting there, and this guy's like, yeah, we moved to Alaska from California. And he starts going through all the stuff. He's like, this anti-smog, I would have had to pay this amount of money. We couldn't have this machine. We have to get rid of it. Our 1997 Suburban was $1,200 a year for tagging up in Alaska. It's $100 for lifetime tags, stuff like that. That's the kind of crap that's coming. So even if you get out of debt with everything, the state's going to be coming for your money too. But the point is that everybody's coming for your money. Everybody. Government wants it. Government wants it. Government wants it via taxes. It wants it via fees. It wants it via, services and everything else. And, you got to have a license to do this. And if you're going to get married, we're going to have to, take this money from you. And we got to have a new school bond to get the stadium up. And, it's never ending. It's never ending. And then you tack on inflation. It's absolutely crazy, the prices I see in the stores now. And it's not going to get better. It's not. It's going to be an isht show from here. It is. People are literally, and they're tapped out, Anybody, I tell that to the musicians in my act, they're like, well, what, we should be making, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, dudes, a lot of these clubs aren't going to be here in 2 years. What do you mean? It's like the economy is terrible. We're playing the same show and we're, at the same club and it's good, but, it seems a little bit thinner than it used to. Not because we're terrible, It's because people are tapped out and they can't go out. People can't go out and spend $5 on a bottle of Bud Light. People can't go out and spend $15 on food. Example, wife and I said, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? My wife doesn't want anything. She doesn't, what she likes? She likes me to handwrite a note from my own personal experience, and I'm going to do it tomorrow, that she receives from me on my own volition. The other day, there was a $5 bouquet of tulips. I brought it to her randomly, like the good husband I am. I'm a good husband. And I brought it to her and I said, happy Mother's Day early. Made her day. You're beautiful, yada, yada. And she is. And tomorrow, she'll get her little handwritten card, 5-6 sentences telling her how she's a great mother and a great human. And, I love the journey with her and all that and blah, blah, blah. So I asked her, what do you want? She said, I don't want to cook. I said, okay, let's not cook tonight. I was tired. I had a big day. I also coached a couple games. So I was ready. I was like, you know what? Totally on board. What do you want to get? And she likes Thai food. She likes this local place that gets drunken noodles. And I like pad Thai. And so I'm trying to go healthy. And I get a veggie pad Thai and she gets a drunken noodles with chicken. $35. $35 with tax. No tip. for 2 meals. Now, we did pickup because we wanted to eat in the privacy of our own home, chuck the kids onto the screens and have a nice meal together on our own. $35 for those 2 Thai meals. Now, they were really good. And we ate everything, and it was, tasted good, and it was a nice experience, and, got a little personal at home, kind of date time for about a half hour. But what could I do with $35? I could have easily walked over to my freezer and brought out a couple of our meat and started, roasting some vegetables. And, I made a big batch of quinoa now because I'm getting into making that. And I could have taken that and turned it into a nice kind of like, stir fry type thing or whatever. Would have been nothing. Would have been whatever I had spent on the grocery store earlier. And now people aren't going out as much. You mark my words. I can see it. I can see it when I go out. How do I go out? Well, I go out and I play music, and I see it. I see it across the board because I go watch other friends' acts, and it's starting to happen. People are tapped out. I can't go out and just spend $20-$50 on drinks and food. I can't do it. Tonight was a rare occasion. The only reason why is because my wife, it's Mother's Day, and that's what she wanted. God bless her. I'll take that. It's better than $35 in flowers in my mind. Still got her the $5 worth of tulips or whatever. I had to send my mom. She lives in another city, so I sent my mom some flowers, but that's her thing. She likes it. She's old school. How are Americans going to do it? 45.5% of the U.S. population open at least one new credit card and one credit account, resulting in $542.6 million, 542.6 million new accounts by the end of 2023. I can't come home and open up my mail without a new offer from Citi, Discover, you name it. And I'll look at the APR. Have you ever looked at the APRs? The credit card that I've got right now through my bank, which I have no balance on, with the exception when I'm doing my thing. I think right now we've got $200, $195 and change on my credit card for the month's groceries. That's what we spent. If I were to take that thing and I were to really screw it up, the APR would be 34%. 34%. So that means every, couple months, your whatever your bill would be doubled, or whatever. Take 2-3 months to do it. Excuse me. And then from there, it spiraled out of control because that's what most people do. They can't handle it. They can't do it. We're in dire straits. And the reason why is because we've let a lot of bad behavior. I think that's what I'm going to call this. We've had a lot of bad behavior go on for way too long. In fact, if you were to give me a title for the theme of the era right now, it's bad behavior. It's bad behavior sexually, it's bad behavior financially, it's bad behavior societally and socially, morally, mentally, all bad. Everybody's making the dumbest of the dumb decisions. Now, I'm going broad brush bad, and I'm sure you listening are probably not one of those people, but you know what I'm talking about. People going out there and like a tattoo. Okay, I get it. Cool. You wanna tat yourself up. All right. But first of all, it's gonna look ugly as crap in 25 years. And what could you do with that money? I don't know. I don't have tattoos. I've never understood tattoos, but it is what it is. If you got a tattoo, cool for you. My wife has a tattoo. Yeah, just one. But I don't know. I just think we are making bad decisions. We're making bad decisions all around. Everybody in America does dumb stuff, and they have been trained that way for bad decisions, whether it's credit card debt. Whatever. We shouldn't be taking on credit card debt, $6,500 per person. That's just nuts. Shouldn't be buying a $55,000 vehicle when we're making $55,000 in a year. Shouldn't do it. Sorry. Shouldn't eat out all the time. In fact, you should learn to make your own food. You want to talk about a great prep skill? You don't got to put crap loads of food away. Go out and get some bunker stuff that you would get and turn it into a good, healthy meal. See if we can do that. Go get a can of peas. Go get some cans of yams, some rice, and, some crushed tomatoes and spices, and see if you can't make something with a sauce. That's a skill right there. So that's where people are. People are just they're doing the dumb. Bad behavior, folks. We got to stop it. I was watching Killdozer earlier. You guys ever heard of Killdozer? Killdozer. Look it up. Killdozer. If you know who Killdozer is, put it in the chat. Let me see it right now. I want to know who knows Killdozer, because I got a story for this, and I want to tell people where I'm going with this. Who knows Killdozer? Come on, folks. Who's Killdozer? Who is he? All right, get some hands up. Give me a brief description. Who is Killdozer? Nope, not Clint Walker. Yes, it does belong in your garage. What is Killdozer? Yeah, he built it. Took 18 months. All right, I'm sure someone will put it in there, but I'm going to start talking about it. Killdozer is this guy in Colorado, Granby, Colorado. Okay, and his name is, I think, Marv or Irv or something like that, right? And he goes and he has got a problem. There's a cement factory that's coming in next to his muffler business, and they're trying to get him out because they're create jobs or something like that, whatever. Puts in a petition and petitions for years. And everybody on that town's government and the corporates and all that, they basically work in collusion and they deny him. Thank you very much, Taz. I see you, brother. That's my man in the background. They basically, he is gonna get, they're gonna make him close his shop. He's gonna have to move, close his shop, and he doesn't want to do that. Well, he's a welder and he's a very crafty guy. And he takes this Komatsu bulldozer and he just turns it into a tank, fortress tank, where anything less than a Kinjal hypersonic missile would not derail this thing from doing what he did on a May day in 2004. So he makes this thing and he gets into it and he turns this just mechanical beast onto the town itself. He doesn't kill anyone. I don't know if he wanted to or not. I'm not going to play on the morals on that. But he takes this thing and he just levels the city hall, the people who were screwing with him's homes, the cement factory place where they're building, like 12 different buildings, just goes in and just flattens them. Meanwhile, the local police are trying to take this guy down. They're shooting him with everything they got, and they can't stop him because he took the time, the effort to basically do what he needed to do to make his point. Now, he gets stuck in a hardware store, and he inevitably ends his life, okay? So he knew where he was going, and should you do the Killdozer thing? No. No, you shouldn't. Should you sit there and take 18 months to work and make something that's going to go in and ruin? And should you go through every legal thing possible and be as nonviolent as possible? Absolutely. What he did was wrong. However, if things keep going the way they're going and they keep pushing people the way they're pushing them, there's going to be more guys like this to come out. And I'm not saying you should do it. I'm definitely not that kind of a person. But it's going to happen. And it's going to start to not, I mean, it's, I don't think really what's going on around us, the people that are trying to hold on to the control of everything, I really don't think they have a full understanding of just how pissed off people are. I mean that. If you go out and you talk to people and you mention anything, if you're just like, oh wow, look at that, look at that restaurant. It's a new restaurant coming in. And you get on the, you mark my words, someone in your little entourage is going to start talking about whatever it was they just went and bought and how freaking expensive it was. People are getting pushed. And what's going to happen is people are going to lose everything. Okay? And, there's going to be people that do that and it's their fault. They shouldn't have taken out the credit cards. They shouldn't have taken out the car loan. Shouldn't have taken out, take personal responsibility. However, you're going to have the people that are going to crack. They're going to crack. And they're going to go out and they're going to do really crazy things. I think what we're going to go and see in the next 3 to 5 years as we go through this process, and it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen next year. It's going to be a process of the dismantling of this country and everything that happens when everything just slowly gets grind down to a nub. You're going to see people start to go insane because everything around them, their entire belief system has just taken a big fat diarrhea on itself and they don't understand the world anymore and they're lost. And some of these people, the only response they understand is destruction. And it's happening. And it's going to happen in other ways too. We were talking about, I forget where it was, about all the crime and stuff. It's going to get bad with the crime, and you're going to start to notice that people aren't going to be waiting around for the police anymore because they know that the police aren't going to help them. And they're going to take things into their own hands. You guys heard of the Italian island Lampedusa, okay? This place is ground zero for the new neighbors that are coming from North Africa into Europe. It's a stopping grounds island right off the coast of Italy. And people are coming there in droves. And there's this video, and the people that live there basically got dressed up with a bunch of sticks and other things. And these big groups that had just planted themselves there suddenly had these mobs of the natives, the local Italians, literally just kick the ish out of them and drove them out. Or I don't know what happened to them, but they take revenge. Like that kind of stuff's going to start to happen. You're going to see someone's like daughter, their child, whatever, get chewed up by something that happens from this whole dismantling of America. And they're going to take things into their own hands. It's going to happen. And I don't want to see it. I don't want it to happen. I don't want any of this to happen. I wish we could reverse back to 2017 and, it's pissing and moaning about, DJT having the freaking MLK, mantle. Remember that story? That's like the OG. They basically lied and said that he removed Martin Luther King's bust or whatever, which it was untrue. Of course, DJT, the total racist, the guy that won the Ellis Island Award with Rosa Parks for being like a not a racist. Look that up. Just go back to that. Just go back to like those are the stories and everything. And everybody, I had a house I couldn't sell at that time. I was an inadvertent landlord from the global financial crisis. Yep. And he came in and I was able to sling that house finally. Imagine if that wouldn't have happened. But I would love to go back to that time. 2017, 2018, economy was turning around. People had money in their pockets. People were getting hired, and it was a good time. 2018 was a good year. Son was born that year. You know why? Why? Because we had the ability to do it. We're not anywhere near that anymore. In fact, if I could show my 2018 self where we are now, I would love that. Would love to do that. Say, hey, come with me. I see that you just are experiencing your new son. Congratulations. He's a wonderful kid. You're going to love him. Let me show you the future. Let me show you what's coming. It starts in 2020. And son, you better strap in because the worst is yet to come. And just as I'm saying this now, I'm sure my 2028 self would love to come back to 2024 and say, hey, take a look at this, man. This is what's going on, and this is what's coming. So you best prepare. Because it's coming. We all know it's coming. We all know it's coming. And that's the thing. You know, people say, oh, well, you know, he's a fearmonger, or he's a prepper channel. I mean, there's a fine line. There's a fine line. I don't want to sit there and go, you know, holy crap, tonight you're going to die because the CME is going to turn the sky purple and the radios and everything to be knocked out and we're all going to die. I'm never going to do that. And I'm not saying yay or nay to the channels that do that, but like, that's not the way things are going to go. It's going to be a slow grind. And people have to say, hey, just so you know, if you have any kind of an idea of the way things are financially, if you have any kind of an idea of the way modern finance works, if you have any kind of an idea the way, you know, monetary theory and the economy works, we're really getting ready into a time. You imagine if you had like 1927, you're in the stock market, you're doing well, you're buying the cars, you're doing the things, you're living like the freaking Great Gatsby. Would you not want to be tipped off and know like what's to come in 29 to 33 and then inevitably after? That's kind of where we're on right now. I see us at like, you know, 1927. And things are just getting ready to pop off. And most of the people around you have no clue. Most people have no clue. They're blissfully going along. The slow grind of all this has just made them think, you know, this is the new normal. Don't you love that term? New normal. No, there's nothing normal about any of this. This is the great dismantling. And we're all in it. We're all in it together, folks. And if you got children, you got grandchildren or whatever, you better start doing some things. And that's not fear-mongering. That's fact. If you look and you know anything about science, you know anything about society, you know anything about history, you know anything about all the things of all the numerous societies and empires and in times and place that just had the entire floor ripped out from under them. It happens over and over and over and over and over again. And we are there. You are staring at the abyss. You're on the end of that edge. You're looking across the darkness coming, and it's almost here. It's coming. It's not tomorrow. But there's going to be a lot of problems. Here's the good news. Okay, let me wrap up on a positive note. Here's the good news. You can survive. There's nothing that's coming that should be able to kill you. There's nothing that's coming that should be able to, you know, make it so you're homeless or terrible things coming. You know, you're going to be able to handle just about anything that comes along. I mean, of course, you know, someone says, "Oh, we're in a nuclear war." Yeah, I get you. I'm just saying realistic stuff. I've never been like afraid of a nuclear war, and the reason why. I'm not saying tactical nukes, whatever. I'm just talking full on, total exchange, full send. You know, the entire world's like atmosphere has been burnt out, and you know there's 1,000 years of darkness. I'm never worried about that because I think everybody does have an understanding of mutually assured destruction. However, all of these things, you know, war is something that's happened over and over again. I mean, we've had 2 world wars in the last 100 plus years, and we're on the precipice of a 3rd one, basically. So you can survive all this. You can. People survive. We're still here. If we didn't, then there wouldn't be more people now than there were back then. You can survive all of it. But you got to do some stuff. You got to work a little bit. You got to get right. You got to do some stuff. I got to do some stuff. It's not easy. It's not fun. You know, I would have loved tonight to have a big old fat steak and some mashed potatoes loaded with butter and sour cream and, you know, a big old bowl of ice cream after and all that. I'd love to have that. Instead, I had my veggie pad thai. And it was not like the big order either. And it was freaking expensive. But yeah, we're going to have to do the things. You're going to have to do stuff. I'm going to have to do stuff. It's never going to be easy. But we can do it. It's never been easier than now. Right now is easy if you think about it in the ultimate scheme of things. But we got to keep going. You got to keep doing the things. You got to keep chopping your feet. Okay? It's important. Because your legacy is going to carry on. I can't give up because of my son. I can't give up because of my daughters. I can't give up because of my beautiful wife. I got to be the toughest mother effer out there. I do. And so do you. So how does that happen? Well, if there's a problem, you solve it. If there's something you need, you work to get it for this minimal amount of your time and energy as possible. You do everything you can. You hustle as much as you can. You live as well as you can. You be as good as you can to other people. You form as many good, solid relationships with people that you want to have in your life that are not toxic. You do all the things to be a good human being. You get right with God, whatever that looks like to you. I know what that's looking like to me. You get right with all these things. Because if you do all those things, you'll be able to handle whatever the hell it is coming down the pike. And none of us know what it's going to look like, to be honest with you. Nobody knows. But I'll tell you what, you know what? We are here for a reason. You're here and this time and everything for a reason. Because you can handle it. You are here and you can handle it. And I have to handle it. You have to handle it. We have to handle it. So that's why we prep. That's why you prep food, why you prep energy supplies, and you prep the medicine, and you prep security stuff. You prep these things. You get yourself right. You form your relationships with people, and you get ready for it. Because America, as you know it, is going to be changing in very, very intense ways. Because the people running the show are doing a poor job. And there's a force outside. Now, whether that's, you know, metaphysical or it's, you know, physical itself, I don't know. Personally, I think it's a bunch of rich a-holes that are just trying to make as much money as they can on a faltering ship, trying to kick this sucker to the rock so they can take the pieces and make as much money as possible, like they did with the Soviet Union. But it's happening, and they've got a good mojo going by stopping us, by doing it. So, you want to know what it looks like? I think the closest thing you're going to find that it looks like is the Soviet Union's collapse. Christmas Day 1991. Go check that out. Because it wasn't Christmas Day 1991. It's the official, it's over day, kind of, history. But it was years in the making. Bread lines and people, you know, doing stupid stuff, and the government trying to do these laws and everything and quick and backtrack and try to make things right on, you know, on the fly. It's not the way it's going to work. Our government's broke, folks. And the only place they can get money is going to be from you and I. That's why they want to turn everything onto a digital platform. They don't want you going to the grocery store, not the grocery store, the garage sale and buying that couch for $100. They want to have a transaction application so they can watch it and tack on that $6.95 in state tax. So, get right, get ready, and behave better, okay? It's all on us. Everything that happens to me from here is on me, you know? So, I got to do it. You got to do it. All right. Well, that was good for me. I don't know about you, but that was good for me. I think I wanted to do a live stream. I was only going to do a half hour. I haven't done a good hour of live stream and just started rambling until now anyway. So, friends, I appreciate you. You make me feel better. Please, get your relationships right. Get the people in your world right, whether that's your family, whatever. Okay? I mean that. You want to talk about something you can do to help your situation in prep? Get good people around you. It's free, right? In fact, it can actually pay off if you know what you're doing. Yeah, but this is it. You know, we're kind of getting the red zone here. But when I say red zone, I'm talking like years. So, oh, God bless you all, guys. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to chill. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to mow the lawn if I can, if it doesn't rain, and I'm gonna be productive and do all the things to get ready. Okay, and I hope you will too. I'll have a crisis report in the morning, and we're gonna keep going, keep chopping our feet. And I just appreciate you. I don't think you understand how much and cathartic this all is. I already feel better. I get to come here and talk to a bunch of people. I don't even know if you're real. I hope you are. I think you are. And go on from there. So. Friends, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow, or I guess today. God bless. Prepper now.